Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to ET Drone Home Gaming and tonight's broadcast of the Tyler Daniels Racing Next Gen Cup Series here for the third week of this fall season. We got our good buddy Josh Kelleher in here with us. Josh, what's going on?
Ethan, what's going on, man? Not too much. Just we're watching practice here, taking a look at the times. It's like a very small field tonight. Hoping some other people do jump in the late parts of practice here, but not too much. Was a heck of a week, I'll tell you that. Had NASA landings out here in Utah. Went splendidly well this morning, and uh, just Utah. But other than that, hope you had a good week.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely wasn't a bad week. So to give everyone a little bit of a recap of last week's race, we were at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and Will Weiser got his first win of the season. And don't have the best graphic to give you to give everybody, but we can take a look here. This is the in iRacing stats for this season, and Will Weiser and Devin Zimmerman both sitting at 64 points, with each one having a win, and they both have gotten 18 bonus points, which is very interesting to have two people have the exact same amount of bonus points through two races. And uh, Ryan Walter sitting in third place at 57.7 points back of the two leaders, also with 18 bonus points. So all three of those guys doing a really good job of racking up on those halfway stage points, and then also the leading laps, qualifying, and most laps led. Andrew Bisnet is in the fourth position with 52 points, sitting 12 points behind. And then Brian Boyd and David Trumbley both tied for the fifth place at 50 points, 14 points back.
Yeah, and taking a look at those points as well, you're still looking at the fourth and the fifth place spot, and there's not that many points separating fourth, fifth, and Trumbull with Boyd tied for that spot. So it'll be interesting to see how Boyd and Trumbull fare after this race, going after Bissonnette to try to get ahead in the points. And um, Will Weiser's been a force to be reckoned with here at Tyler Daniels Racing for sure. Racing against him this past week, uh, he has a knack of coming from the back. So that's my quote for him: knack from coming from the back. So everybody be watching Will Weiser tonight as well.
Well,
If he is in this race.
at the moment, he's currently not here. He's still got 11 minutes plus our qualifying time. So he's still got about 20 minutes before we'll be getting going green for him to get back in here. But I also got word that Devin Zimmerman will not be here tonight. He and his family dealing with sickness, some kind. I guess I'm assuming some kind of bug or something that's going around has caught his household. So unfortunately, he's not going to be here. We're obviously thinking of him and his family that they get well soon. But with Devin not being here and possibly Will not being here, then if that's the case, then we will have a third winner in three races, and a new winner that would be locking themselves into the playoffs tonight.
Definitely best wishes out to him and his family. And speaking of family, you'll probably hear mine screaming in the background at some point with all my dogs, so my apologies about that. Watching some practice laps go around here. We got Ryan Walters being really quick here at New Hampshire. Another part of I know our last broadcast, we were at Hampshire Motor Speedway for the Todd Danbury Tyler Daniels Memorial Race here. And we're just right up the road now from Thompson Speedway in Loudon, New Hampshire, about an hour north of Boston. And fun fact about New Hampshire, this track sits around a population of about 18 million. So you figure they would pack it in every time. And they have been having a hard time selling tickets lately here for New Hampshire. But Hopefully that changes soon as we see some more people going in, putting new tires and coming back out for practice laps here at New Hampshire. Okay, we had a couple more have connected, so the field is starting to fill up just a little bit more here while we're doing some practice laps. Everybody getting used to the track. I know I was out here the other day, and after the last update, New Hampshire doesn't feel the same. So I think there's a little bit of track update here. So it's going to be interesting to see how they can keep control of those cars tonight.
Yeah, it is relatively common to see cars wanting to step out a little bit um, in the corners, middle of the corner, and the exit of the corner here. Um, it can be really difficult just because you're dealing with the fact of getting loose, and if you wear out your tires, then you just have no rotation through the center of the corner at all. So you're kind of dealing with, being tight and loose, which is never fun to have to deal with either of them, let alone both. You see Brian Boyd get loose off of turn 2 and go around.
It looks like he was pushing it kind of hard there. Nobody knows me. I'm a paint scheme guy, and there's some pretty cool paint schemes out here. Another spinner there. Everybody getting used to the track here at New Hampshire International Speedway. There's 21 at Dale Power at the infield a little bit.
See, Brian Boyd just jumped up to second fastest in practice. I think that Ryan, Walter, and Brian Boyd are my two ones to watch tonight. I know that both of them, they both have a little bit of a fondness for this racetrack, so I think that we'll probably see them running up front quite a bit, and as long as they can minimize mistakes. I know that the last time that we were here, I'm not 100% sure if it was the Next Gen Cup Series or maybe it was the trucks. I know Brian had a tough time in that race. Granted, there was some different reasons for issues that happened in that race, but things can happen regardless if they're your own doing or someone else's.
Absolutely agree. 'Cause I guess no matter what race I run into, I'm always getting into somebody else's stuff. So I can absolutely attest to that. And it can be difficult here, short track race, and a lot of people say it's not a short track. No, it's definitely a short track. And there's not that many lanes, so it'll be tight. Keeping an eye out on the cars all around you for tonight. Looking at the times, everybody's really close together too in time, so it's going to be very interesting tonight with such a short pack. While we're looking at Ryan Walters and the 78 of Brian Boyd getting some more practice laps in together.
We got Ryan Walter really putting in a lot of laps, trying to learn everything he can about a long run. He's currently completed 37 laps now on his 38th lap of practice.
'49 car Mission 22 sponsor Ryan Walter is putting in the grind tonight, trying to see if that'll make him fare well and possibly get himself a podium position tonight.
I think turn two could be a treacherous place.
Yeah, I think so too, as we're seeing multiple spins coming off that turn tonight. Jason Ricker being the latest victim. Now the third, yeah, there he is. Watch that replay, back it right up in there.
Now in the final minute of practice, Jason Ricker's cracked into the top three now, second place, the 31.19.
With that little bit of time left, they're definitely trying to see who can push some of those fast laps to know what their competition is at for this race tonight. Went down to our final seconds here of practice. Oh, looks like there was another spin with the 13, and Brian couldn't just get out of the way. The 78 did tag him a little bit, sending him into the infield grass, even a little landscaping.
And looky here, Will Weiser gets in right at the end of practice. sure there may have been a couple people that thought, man, we're not gonna have to race Will tonight.
Right? Back of the pack has a knack, Will.
But if one of these guys is able to win and beat Will, I'm sure that they'll be rather ecstatic that he was here and that they were able to beat him.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially when you know you have a fierce competitor and he's tough and knows his way around. It's really gratifying to know if you can get that win around that guy, or if he has a tough night. You never know in these races. But if he has a tough night, someone else has a better race, you got yourself a W. We take a look. Looks like looking at the 21 out running his qualifying laps. Dale Power, as well as the 25 with Tyler Daniel coming on out. Take his qualifying lap, see where he can place. Yeah, we do have some time starting to trickle in here from everybody going out. Safe to say you'll have some waiting, a couple moments, see where everybody's coming in, where they need to be at in order to get those very, very important P1, P2 spots here for the beginning of the race for the green flag. So yeah, as it stands right now, we got the 13 of Jason Ricker holding that P1 spot with a time of 31.227. The 09 of Jeremy Gaiman pulling in a 31.272. It's not that far off of Jason. Still have yet to see Ryan Walters and 78 of Brian Boyd come out. New times coming in. Looks like we got 12 car David Brown just edging out the 13 of Jason Ricker for that P1 spot, posting a time of 31.175. We're only 3 minutes into qualifying here, so it's going to be interesting to see.
We've actually got Will Weiser on track, so curious to see what he's doing at the moment. Is he actually going to put down a qualifying lap?
Look at the 96 going around, taking his laps here. David Trumbley and his Ford Mustang posting a time of 31.55. Oh, looks like he got some trouble. '49 Ryan Walter out taking his qualifying laps as well.
I think
Rob Cochran.
I think Will Weiser went out and he ran 2 laps, but he made them invalid laps, and he was just trying to get some extra practice because he's completed 2 laps, but he hasn't posted a time.
Some interesting strategy there from Will. Maybe just try to get a feel for the track, see where everybody else is at. Watching the 49 in his qualifying laps was good enough for a P5 spot at the moment, 31.437 in that Chevy Camaro Mission 22.
I know that that's not quite the lap that he was hoping to have after the lap that he put down in practice. He's about 3/10 slower than his fastest practice lap.
Taking a look, it looks like the 78 Brian Boyd is now coming out to make his qualifying laps.
All right, we checking in on our chat. We got Chris Jordan saying let's go to number 78 for Brian Boyd. Jim Downham saying good evening. Puppet Master, aka Brian Boyd, says got my button ready. Woot woot. I'm not sure what button he's referring to, but. And then Mad Justin says, how is everything going, Ethan and Josh? And so far, everything is going great. Hopefully, it is for you as well.
Taking a look at the times, it looks like Brian Boyd currently sits in the P10 spot with a 31.591 coming back across that line.
Just
The
improved
second
on his
lap
second
just
lap.
improved. Yeah, I was just about to say that 31.302. Brian Boyd, the 78 childhood cancer awareness car, picking up that P4 spot. Yeah, that's a good spot to be in here at in New Hampshire
Yeah, for the most
Speedway.
part, the preferred line is going to tend to be favored on the outside. So
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of the times guys are going to, prefer to be starting in that outside row.
We got some cars going out. Taking a look at the standings, looks like the first spot is being held by David Brown. That number 12 car, the number 13, Jason Rickard, did pick up P2 so far in qualifying with Jeremy Gaiman in the third spot. So I appreciate the love in the YouTube chat. Thanks for that. Don't forget to hit the like and smash the subscribe button. Share it if you want to. Doesn't hurt to share. Get more people tuning into all the fun.
Hey, anyone got quick pit road speed by chance? Anyone know?
What is that, Ethan?
Do you know what pit road speed is?
45 miles
45.
an hour.
45?
Yep.
All right, thank you.
Hampshire Motor Speedway, along with the Tyler Daniels Racing Nation watching on the YouTube broadcast. We hope you have a great time tonight. Everybody's relaxing on this nice Sunday evening.
All right, well, it looks like everyone that's going to post a lap has gone ahead and done so. Now we have less than a minute left in qualifying. We'll go ahead and start going over our race info for this evening. Here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, a 1.03 mile oval racetrack with a current track temperature of 109 degrees Fahrenheit. The race length is going to be 80 laps. The pit window, they've got plenty of fuel to make it all the way to the end, so fuel is not an issue. So the pit window for tonight is whenever you want tires. So
Whenever.
we will see when they choose to get tires, if they choose to get tires, and would be interesting in that regard. Pit road speed 45 miles an hour, unlimited set of tires, and everyone will get one fast repair.
with whenever you want. I mean, if I was racing this race, I definitely would go with America's crew chief Larry Mack's suggestion is take them tires. Every single time you come in, take them tires. So we'll see what happens.
Now, qualifying is officially over, so we'll go through our grid here. David Brown is the pole winner for this evening, getting that extra bonus point. Jason Ricker second, Jeremy Gaiman third, Brian Boyd fourth, Jim Downham fifth, Ryan Walters sixth, Dale Power seventh, Tyler Daniels eighth, David Trumbley ninth, Dale Weiser 10th, Robert Cochran 11th, Will Weiser in 12th, and then we will have Chuck McDonald in 13th and Dylan Smith rounding out the field in the 14th position.
They are all getting gridded up here behind the pace car to take those 2 warm-up laps before they go green at New Hampshire Motor Speedway.
Let's get a quick word in with our 5th place starter. Jim, welcome to the booth. You got us?
Yes, I do. How you guys doing tonight?
Doing good. So we wanted to try to get a quick word in with one of our front runners here this evening, and you know, believe it or not, there's not a single person other than yourself in the top 5 that is available to talk to. So
Really?
yeah, so
Wow.
so we figured we'd grab you, and good job on solid start
Yeah,
position for tonight. And you know, how do you feel about your chances tonight?
I feel very confident. It's definitely top 5. Something's got to happen my way to either get the win by a different pit strategy than everybody else, because we got some fast competitors here, and so we'll play it out and see where it takes us and go from there.
Well, I'm definitely liking the new admin box paint scheme that you got there. We're obviously used to seeing you in that bright blue and yellow car, but definitely look, you got a nice little hot rod out there.
Well, thank you. Yeah, we decided to mix it up a little bit and see how it does. So,
Well, obviously you're getting ready to go green here, so we'll get you situated, and best of luck.
all right, thank you.
All right, the pace car is going to head for pit road here, and we will be going green.
The green flag has dropped here at New Hampshire Speedway.
Dale Power on the inside, Jason Ricker on the outside, Brian Boyd moving into the 3rd position.
Diving on in there, yeah. Brian dived right on there. Looks like Ryan Walters trying to do the same thing, almost made it 3 wide there. He decided not to and fall right back into position.
Looks like Jason Ricker maybe drove it in a little too deep there and wanting to struggle a little bit, and Brian Boyd not wasting any time moving from 4th to 2nd and already putting the pressure down on David Brown. Peeks to the inside, looking for the lead.
We also have a battle back here for the 8th and 9th spot between Will Weiser and Dale Power.
Brian Boyd did just get by David Brown, so we do have a new leader.
Brian definitely taking the charge up to the P1 spot. Look back, there's a couple of 2-car wide battles going on here as we have the 00 Will Weiser going on the inside of 96 David Trumbley, and then we have the 49 trying to get on the inside of the 13, and then you have the 28 kind of cut there in the middle. Hopefully it sorts itself out here. And it looks like we got the 28 and the 96 doing a little bit of battling here. Take a look. The leader, Brian, has got a significant, looks like, lead on that second place car, about four or five car lengths. As the 28 and the 96 are still side by side here, doing a little door-to-door action. That sorted itself out. Now you find the 28 and the double O. Will Weiser battling it out here in the 96 and 49. Also side by side here. Out on the trail of that 13 car, Jason Ricker. Look at the double O. Will Weiser thought about making a 3-wide, splitting it, going through the middle there, but it looks like the 49 and Ryan Walters decided we're just gonna hold off, step back here, and let him waste his tires and see what he got for him later on. Looks like the 78 still got that significant lead over the second place car, David Brown. Now we taking a look, it looks like we got the double O. Will Weiser trying to get on the inside of the 09 of Jeremy Gaiman to make that pass. Oh, and the 13 of Jason Ricker got a little loose there in front of those two. Corrected himself okay.
And Will Weiser is not wasting any time, moved up 8 positions from the start already in less than 7 laps.
7 laps in. That's insane. That's insanely fast. So it'll be interesting to see what his tire wear will be like when he's going to come in to get some tires. As he takes a look on the inside of the 13 of Jason Ricker to take that third spot, and Jason pulls over and says, "Go ahead, Will. Go on." And he will do just that.
And there is a possibility that no one takes tires tonight because everyone's got enough fuel, and the amount of time that you lose, I don't know if you're going to be able to gain that back by getting fresh tires. Nice little battle going on right here, currently for the 10th position.
Back at the action. Still have Brian Boyd, that 78 cancer awareness, childhood cancer awareness car, staying in the lead with the 12 of David E. Brown holding that P2 spot. Hot on the trail of him is that double O, Will Weiser, who's come from the back, up 9 spots to take that third spot. Back in the pack now, we got the 30 of Dale Weiser on the inside of the 21, battling for a spot there. Dale Power and Dale Weiser, the battle of the two Dales, as looks like the Weiser of the two Dales got around that 30 car, taking over the 9th spot. Action I've been watching is that second and third place car of David Brown and Will Weiser. Will does take a look on the inside of that 12 car, and 12 car moves up and says, "Go on, Will. Go ahead." So looks like the double O, Will Weiser, has moved up into that second spot. Currently there is a 1.1 second gap in between the 78 of Brian Boyd and double O Will Weiser. pretty even single file from there on back. Scroll through the field, yeah, I don't see much side-by-side action. Everybody's just single filed in. And
I think something we're gonna need to be paying attention to is some lap times between Brian Boyd and Will Weiser. And
we're
Will
coming across the
Weiser
line
has
here.
been significantly quicker over the last 5 laps.
It is. It looks like it's 4 tenths or just under 4 tenths of a second faster. So he is gaining on that 78 of Brian Boyd.
And I mean, 4 tenths is huge. So hopefully Brian's just trying to take his time, and it's not a matter of that Brian's lost the handling of the car.
Well, I've been watching this battle for a little while and just keeping an eye on it. And it looks like he's pretty smooth, keeping the nose of that car straight. High coming off, going into the turns, keeping it smooth. So not too low, just in that almost bottom groove there where you can see where the rubber buildup is. So he is following that line nice and smooth. But Will Weiser just closed that gap where he's looking like almost to be on the bumper of that 78 of Brian Boyd.
But he is absolutely going to have to kick it up a notch because he is not going to be able to hold him off. He's trying a lot of blocking right now.
Yeah, he's blocking him now, trying to keep him back from.
I don't think that he's going to be able to do that very much. He's trying to do a whole lot of
Kind of blocking
playing games,
there,
and Will's got the preferred line now.
Yeah, he's got that outside line, so it looks like Brian's the 78 car is going to let him get by.
Well, I can assure you there was no letting in that scenario. Brian obviously was trying everything he could, but
Yeah.
it was pretty inevitable. I mean, Will just has way more speed right now.
Yeah, he definitely was trying to, keep him blocked in, to not let him pass, but it looks like he.
I am a little surprised to see Ryan Walter and Dale Weiser back here in the 8th and 9th position struggling. We saw how quick of a lap time that Ryan was able to put down.
It's a matter of taking a look at it. The track is 102 degrees. I mean, it's not as hot as it would be if you would see it like Daytona and Talladega. So I'm wondering if not so much tire wear, but maybe he heated the tires too quick in the early laps, the early going here, so it affected his running. He had to get those tires cooled down, but I am showing that the track is running about 102 degrees, so it's a little warm. As I take a look at the leaderboard, we are still showing the double O Will Weiser holding that first spot. Second place is the 78 Childhood Cancer Awareness car, Brian Boyd. Third spot's being held by the 12 car, David Brown. Fourth goes to Jason Ricker in that 13 Chevrolet. And then the 09 Jeremy Gaiman is holding the fifth spot. Following along, sixth spot goes to David Trumley in that 96 Ford. 28 of Jim Downman is holding the seventh spot. We got Ryan Walter, as we were speaking about before, still holding that eighth spot. Ninth spot of Dale Weiser in that 30 Ford. And the only Toyota in the field tonight, 25 of Tyler Daniels, is holding that 10th spot.
Everyone right here in this bunch is just pretty much staying head to toe for the most part. Now we finally see, it looked like Ryan was going to have a chance going down the straightaway there on Jim, but everyone just seems to fall right in line. And these guys are losing a lot of time to the rest of the field in front of them.
As we got spectators in YouTube land watching the race, having fun. We do appreciate all y'all sticking around and having fun with us here tonight on ET Drone Home Gaming. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, so that you know when ET Drone Home Gaming is live with all the action that we bring you here.
A little bit of contact looks like there between Ryan Walter and Jim Downham. I think Ryan's just a little bit faster, but he's stuck on that bottom, having trouble make the pass. But I think if he gets around, he'll probably pull away.
Oh yeah, I see that there.
He's gonna get the position here.
You got it. He's driving not so aggressive, but he is driving hard. I think he's realizing that he's got to make up some spots here. Ryan Walter in that 49 Chevrolet, realizing that he's got to make up some spots here if he's going to try to podium for this race, because you get the double O, the 78, and the 12 just up there holding those first three spots. Going back to looking at to the leader of the race, he's still holding steady with lap times 31.575, pretty steady here with 30 laps in the books out of 80. And we got the second place car, Brian Boyd, throwing down a 31.675. So he's not that far off, but it seems like he is slowly losing as the laps tick on here to the double O Will Weiser. Meanwhile, that 49 car we saw in a battle a few laps ago has about 7-8 car lengths lead on that 3-car pack that was there behind him. So seems he's trying to make up some time here to catch up to that 6-car David Trumley in the 96 Ford. Some lap traffic playing into coming into play here, so maybe this will be a chance for that 78 car to make up a little ground on the Will Weiser 00 Ford. Ryan Walters seemed to got into a little trouble and has dropped back where those 3 cars have gone around him. Oh man, that's tough for that 49 car. He was trying so hard to get around those 3, and then he got a little loose, and those 3 got by him. As the leaders are coming up on the lap traffic.
You saw how difficult it was for Ryan to get by Jim, so
Yeah.
the idea of having to go through all of that again.
All over again. Yeah. Hate to see it. He's skilled enough, though. I'm pretty sure he can get there and do it. Let's see. You see, he is already catching up to the back bumper.
Looks like Dale just had a little bit of a bobble himself, as he just lost 2 spots.
Yeah, that 21 has jumped back. Dale Weiser's now right there in front of the Ryan Walter machine. Jim Downman and Tyler Daniels just ahead of them with this 4-car pack, staying in a single file line. Everybody's just trying to hold it together and not wreck, I guess, at this point. I mean, there is 35 laps into this race, so we're just about halfway here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway in the Tyler Daniels Racing League for the Next Gen night. Next Gen League on Sundays. Better ways, you can watch your NASCAR during the day and then watch your e-NASCAR at night.
Oh, Tyler drove it in really deep right there and rides up.
As we have the 25 look at again on the inside of 28 of Jim Downham. So he slid up there a little high. And just everybody stays safe, and a little bit of a 2-car battle there between the 25 and 28. As Tyler Daniels in that 25 does get by the 28 of Jim Downman. Oh, we got the crossover move. Jim Downman trying to do the crossover here. This easily just tucks back in behind that 25 of Tyler Daniel. It looks like the action is back here in the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th spot, as there still seems to be a significant lead between the 00 car Will Weiser and 78 of Brian Boyd. Still a second gap in between them. It hasn't looked like it's been closing at all, as we got the 49 car Ryan Walters looking on the outside of the 30 car, trying to take that spot, make those positions back after that bobble he had about 4 or 5 laps ago. Oh no, it looks like we got the 25 car. Tyler Daniels is in the wall and keeps on going.
And keep in mind now we're quickly approaching the halfway mark of this race, as the leader is currently on lap 39. And stage points go out at the halfway point, which will be at the beginning of lap 41.
Taking a look a couple laps ago, it was only about a 1.1 gap in between the 00 Will Weiser and Brian Boyd, but now taking a look 2 laps later, we're at a 0.9 deficit of a gap in between those two. So it is possible that Brian may be making up some time to catch that leader.
We got Tyler Daniels was way off the pace and has gone down to pit road, so I don't know if he's just electing to pit or if something's happened.
Well, he did tag that wall pretty hard earlier and kept going forward, so I'm wondering if it was something with the car a couple laps later that broke, and he's got to go have the attention of the pit crew take a look at it. As Ryan Walters looks on the inside of the 28 of Jim Downman to take that spot over. We still see the 25 of Tyler Daniel coming down pit road to get the attention of his pit crew here.
So Will Weiser,
Like he took faster car.
Will Weiser did win the halfway point stage. Brian Boyd was second. David Brown third. Jason Ricker fourth. Jeremy Gaiman fifth. David Tremblay fifth. Oh, I'm sorry. Jason Ricker fourth. Jeremy Gaiman fifth. David Tremblay sixth.
As we got the 28 of Jim Dowman coming down pit road as well. I wonder if this is something planned. I didn't see him get into any incidents out there, defense or anything.
Well, now we get to see if it forces the hand of anyone else to go and pit and just to be able to compare lap times.
Looks like he's taking some right sides here and some fuel.
No, I'm sure he'll be getting 4 tires.
Left sides are going on now. Absolutely. Yeah, you are right about that. And he is down and away on pit road, coming off of pit road to blend back in. Doesn't seem to have forced anybody else to come in, so he was about a single car coming in as he blends back out onto the back stretch here in New Hampshire. I'm taking a look at the 78 child cancer awareness car. Brian Boyd, number 78, has gained a tenth of a second there, looking at about 0.8 behind the 00 Will Weiser, who's got a stronghold on that P1 position here in the late goings.
So Will Weiser, our leader, last lap time was a 31.88, and if we look at Tyler Daniels, who was one of the guys that recently pit, he just ran a 31.36, which was his fastest lap of the race. So he is 0.5 of a second faster, so half a second faster than the leader on fresh tires, but with only 35 laps to go. It's a big ask to think that you can make up that ground on fresh tires.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely, for sure. Because, I mean, even looking at Jim Dowman, who came out just now with 4 fresh stickers, his last lap was a 31.534. And the 00 is still running a 31.985 that last time back. Looks like that last lap was just a tick quicker, 31.981 for that 00 Will Weiser on that last lap. Brian Boyd holding it down to 32.025. He has fallen back 1.3 seconds behind the leader, but no threat at all from the 3 of David Brown. That number 12 Chevrolet is running 6 seconds back from the leader, so that would be about 4.5 seconds back of the third place car. Sorry, second place car, 78, Brian Boyd.
So we've had about half the field is on one strategy, half the field is on another, which is guys that have gone into pit and guys that seem to be that they're going to be staying out for the majority of the race, or the entirety of the race, I should say.
And that's the wonders of sim racing, because not only do you get to drive, you have to be your own crew chief and listen to your spotter that's there for you. So, yeah, different strategies can definitely still have different outcomes, just like they do in real life racing. So it is, in my words, I think it's just as exciting.
And Chris Jordan is asking, do the leaders have to pit still? And based on the information that we have up here in the booth, is that they have enough fuel to make it to the end, so they don't have to pit.
Only if you want to.
And it certainly seems that both Brian and Will are going to be staying out for the remainder of the race.
As we see the double O, Will Weiser going into the turn. He's coming out of 4. He is coming up on the 7th place car. Ryan Walters in danger of throwing him a lap down. A lot of lap traffic there coming up in front. May give a slight advantage over to the 78 of Brian Boyd to gain it some time up. Because I still show he's a 1 point, just a little over a second back from the double O car. Also remember, in order to get the Hard Charger award here at Tyler Daniels Racing League, you also have to qualify. So
currently, we would have a tie right now, a 3-way tie between Chuck McDonald, Dale Weiser, and David Tremblay, who have all gained 4 positions.
keeping an eye on that first and second place car. They are maintaining pretty much consistent lap times, lap after lap. That third place car has fallen back another little over a second, 7.2. So you're wondering, I'm not remembering if the 12 car did pit or not. So I'm wondering if tire wear is starting to become a factor with the third place car.
David Brown has not pit, so it's just a matter of fall off over the course of the run. Now 25 laps to go.
Taking a look at the wide shot here of the first place, Will Weiser. I do see he's going to be coming up on lap traffic. The 7 car, Ryan Walter. Wondering if that'll play into anything with Ryan Boyd and the 78 being able to catch up a little to the 00 Will Weiser.
You can really see how much that Will is diamonding the corners. Drives it in, lets it, kind of float up into that darker area. Waits for the car to get turned and has a nice straight exit.
As they're heading down the back stretch, I'm still showing the 78 car holding that 1 to 1.2 gap behind the 00 car, but that 00 car is coming up on lap traffic here. So again, it's going to be very interesting to see coming up into these closing laps if that lap traffic will have anything come into play for that P1 and P2 spot.
Ooh, Chuck McDonald all into the wall. allows Jim Downham to get by for that 9th position.
I'm taking a look at his car. Doesn't look like it be any significant damage, but it did slow his momentum down for sure. Yeah, 'cause that 20-yard car did get by him nice and safe and cleanly, but it seems like he is back on the pace. So it just slowed his momentum down, and as the double load did get by that Ryan Walter machine. Still seems to be pulling away, 1/10 of a second over the last time he went by there. 1.4 seconds is the gap in between the P1 and P2 with lap traffic.
And Will Weiser about to put his father 1 lap down.
Got a little loose there, double low, trying to get around the 30. His own dad, putting your own dad a lap down, man. That's okay. It's racing. How many times have we seen Kurt and Kyle Busch go at it? Their family. We saw Dale and Dale. They've done it many times, so he's probably, go on, get it, boy. Probably what Dale Weiser's thinking. Taught him everything he knew, probably is what he's thinking. I taught that boy everything I knew. Look at him go. And with that being said, you got the 78 machine, Brian Boyd, coming up on the bumper of his dad, Dale Weiser. Is he going to do this, be, customary to him as well and let him go by? We'll see.
We talked about the driving styles in the corner. If we look at Brian Boyd's cockpit, see how he goes through the corner. He's a lot lower than Will is.
Yeah, he is keeping it low as he goes by the 30 of Dale Weiser in that Childhood Cancer Awareness DEP graphics paint scheme. On that note, Ryan Walters also running the Mission 22 DEP graphics paint scheme. That would be by far my 2 favorite paint schemes tonight are these 2, the 78 and the 49. I'm a paint scheme guy. If anybody knows me, I'm a paint scheme guy. I love looking at paint designs. I'm keeping my eye on that. We were talking about this way earlier in the broadcast, talking about that Ryan Walters, watching the Ryan Walters and Brian Boyd. I'm going to watch that Brian Boyd try to gain some time on that 00 car here.
With Dale Power going off track, I think he was trying to get to pit road.
Was he able to keep it straight? Oh, I see that there on the replay. Was able to keep it straight and finally make his way to pit road, so he was able to get there finally safe and sound going down pit road.
Jason Ricker getting around Dale Weiser. That's for the sixth position.
Spot.
And
looks
Jason Ricker is one of the cars that pitted back on lap 46. So he's been able to use those tires to be able to catch at least some of the field and gain some position. So and he very well may get back on the lead lap before the end of this race.
Wouldn't that be something? And look at that, a New England boy there running in his area. Didn't have to travel too long to get to the track today. Probably, you know, from the bedroom to the living room or vice versa. To the man cave. Nine laps to go. Be interesting to see if that 78 car's got anything left to challenge that 00 car, take over that first spot. As that 13 car is on the inside of the 78, he goes on by with those fresher tires.
And Jason currently is the fastest car on the track.
And the last lap was looks like that was a 32.048, and the 00 P1 Will Weiser 32.189. And you have the lead cars, some lap traffic going at it as well for spots. Hopefully not hold up that second spot. 78 Chevrolet. You got 25 Tyler Daniels holding in that 10th spot. Long race, and glad to see him still putting in those laps here. The only Toyota in the field. Got a friend stopping by on the YouTube channel with going out rooting for Brian. Go Gator. I hope Boo and all the little Boo and all the kids are doing good down there. L, good to see you out there in YouTube land supporting Brian Boyd in that 78 car. For little Boo's out there going, go Gator, go Gator. Chris Jordan saying Brian Boyd doing a good job keeping the 00 in his sights. He is doing that just so. 1.1 gap, and he's trying to turn on that heat as he gets by that car of for the lead. What do you think about that, Ethan?
It's definitely really interesting. I'm kind of surprised to see, Will, slip up like that.
We've got a whole bunch of excited people at home that were pulling for the 78, getting by that 00 Will Weiser. He's been battling for many laps to try to get back up there to the lead. And that 78 Childhood Cancer Awareness Chevrolet Camaro. A couple friends out there in YouTube land probably don't want to hear me saying Chevrolet right now, but that's okay. The 04 gets on the inside of the 78. But Brian Boyd did let him get around. Well, currently now there is a 1.1 to 1.2 second gap in between the number one spot, 78 Brian Boyd, over the Will Weiser machine. And it was that way for some time, many laps before. Just wondering if maybe Brian saved a little bit more tire than Will did. I didn't see that. I was going through the YouTube channel when that happened. But lesson learned, pay more attention.
All right, we're on the final lap now. Brian Boyd, our leader.
Taking it to the back stretch. Breathing a little easier. I'm sure his heart rate's through the roof right now because that was exciting for him.
Brian Boyd gets it done.
Coming up on the checker, look at that. 78 of Brian Boyd, your winner tonight.
I want to go back real quick and look at that pass. And I want to come back a little bit and see, you know, did we have any indication of any issues from Will that something was wrong? Did he have damage there on the front? It kind of looks like he's got some damage there on the right front. Because it just seemed a little bit odd, you know, if we back up a little bit more and go to his, I want to go to his in-car, kind of get an idea of his motor. He's slowing down a lot.
I don't see any indication of get loose. Did he just, his tires go out on him? I don't know. One to wonder. Yes.
Look at his steering wheel. He's turned to the right,
Yeah,
going down the straightaway. So I think that somewhere along the line,
something broke.
something definitely happened. The thing that is just what I'd like to see is if, you know, I do want to get to Brian, but I'd also really like to see if we could find where
Looks like Bob Burlow in YouTube land says go back a little more. He hit the fence, so it looks like he might have tagged the fence maybe a lap or so before that.
Oh, there it was, right there.
Something what we missed. Watching the Brian Boyd machine do a Polish victory lap at New Hampshire. Love to see that. In honor of Alan Kowicki, the late great Alan Kowicki. I'm sure he's also doing it in honor of a lot of other people.
Man,
as well.
that is definitely interesting. I don't understand if we had some kind of net code.
He just went up and.
Because I mean, if
yeah, look at that.
if we sit here and we go to our far chase. Oh, it almost looks like he just kind of lost it and then went to the right, but we obviously want to get to our leader, and Brian, I do apologize that you know, we haven't caught you yet, or your celebration at all. So I am rewinding it.
There he goes. Look at that.
We are gonna get this played for you. We're gonna make sure that it gets seen, and we'll be talking
Burn
to you
it down.
as if it never happened.
Burn it down, buddy. A good win. Excited for that.
Hey, Brian, you got us?
What's going on, gentlemen? What's going on?
Hey,
Woo!
Great job getting the win tonight. Obviously, you know, it may not be what you were expecting, you know, but a little slip up from Will is all it takes to be able to get by him.
Yeah, man, it was the only thing I was riding for second, hoping maybe he'd have a slip up, but he just had a little bit more speed than me every lap coming off of four, and that's where he was gaining his speed on me. Because I'd catch a little bit in one and two, and then he'd get it all back in just like another tenth coming out of four every single lap. And it looked like him in a lap car. Like he got loose, he tagged out the lap car on the inside, and then uh, he tagged the outside wall, and that's when I was able to catch him.
Yeah, it was really interesting. We were going back and trying to get a better idea of how exactly it happened. We can't tell if, he broke loose a little bit and then it tried to overcorrect and got into the wall, or if there was some kind of crazy netcode between him and um, Jason
Ricker,
Ricker.
I
But
think it. Yeah.
we'll get a word in hopefully here with Will and see what he felt from his perspective. But regardless, I mean, you still, you put yourself in a position to win if something was to happen, and I mean that's all you can do. So I mean it paid off, and it's not always the fastest car that wins. If it was, then you know we wouldn't need to be watching all the time. So
Yes, sir. I like New Hampshire. I don't know why. I just do good at New Hampshire. But like I was telling Will in the race, I was like, man, that's one. I won't say exact words, but uh, I said it was one heck of a job to drive from all the way in the back to the front like that, man. I said that's probably the best set of driving at New Hampshire I've ever seen. So I tip my hat to him to be that fast. I mean, kudos to him. I
yeah,
hate that he lost like he did.
yeah, you definitely we've gotten to a point now where it's not too much of a shock to see him move from the back to the front as it seems like he does it week in and week out, but um, sometimes it works for him, sometimes it doesn't, but um, it's impressive when it does.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Brian, good job, buddy. This is Josh. Hey, listen, you had a whole bunch of people pulling for you in YouTube land. So,
Did I?
oh, you certainly did. Yeah, you had Chris Jordan was out there. You had L and Lil Boo and all those guys. And so I'm not sure if you weren't seeing that, but if you want to say anything to them, you had a whole bunch of fans pulling for you out there tonight. So congratulations on that win, bud.
Hey, thanks, guys, man. This one's for the kids. I mean, telltale sign, it's on my car, man. I was excited like a little kid. This is for all them. One's fighting cancer, the one's not fighting cancer. Ones that find them themselves in positions that they can't fight back from. It's not in their power as a child. So this is huge. And I want to dedicate this race to the kids in Dep Graphics. September made a year anniversary for his son passing away to cancer. So this is huge, really huge.
Absolutely agree. Seeing two DEP depth graphic paint schemes in the field tonight, knowing that it was September and everything that him and his family went through was absolutely true meaning. And that's what's about here, Tyler Daniels Racing in this league. It's all about family and supporting each other. So thanks for running those paint schemes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
All right, Brian. Well, enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy the win, and we will see you next week.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so our second place finisher, Will Weiser, is the only other person that we have the ability to chat with tonight, as everyone else has decided to sign off. So we'll grab him real quick. Hey, Will, Ethan, and Josh up in the booth. You got us?
Yeah, what's up, guys?
Hey, so great race tonight. I know it didn't end the way that you would have liked, but you definitely showed that you were the fastest, most dominant car out there. I mean, you got some bonus points for leading the lap, leading the most laps, and you won that stage. So even though you didn't get the win, you definitely still have a lot to take away from this one. If you want to fill us in a little
Yep.
bit on that little incident off of turn two, we were trying to dissect it ourselves.
Yeah, the incident, I mean, obviously just sad because, I mean, Brian was keeping up really, really well. But obviously, even at that point, even if he was a little bit faster in the end, I had, a free run to the finish. And I don't know, I think subconsciously it was like I don't want to impede Ricker on clean tires and just a combination of that and just I got on the gas a little bit too much on the turn and didn't want to get out of the throttle, and then just got a little loose, and then tried to correct it, but not get fully out of the gas, and then yeah, just smacked the wall.
I got you. Well, I mean, it's definitely really unfortunate, but as always, you showed just an absolute ton of speed as always, and we know that you'll be back at it next week for sure, contending for another win, no doubt.
Yeah, I think I felt like, or I mean, once I got past Brian, like he kept up with me basically the entire race. It really felt like, at least at that point, or just by the way the rest of the race went, that maybe like he was just holding back in the beginning and trying to save tires, maybe, and then, not that he didn't need to save tires, but maybe if he ran that pace the entire time, I wouldn't, or like maybe I would have got around him, but it would have
Yeah,
taken
because
a lot longer.
we were paying attention to lap times, and you were 3 to 5 tenths of a second faster when you were behind him. But then once you got in front of him, it seemed like at worst he was a tenth or two off, pretty much the rest of the race. So
Yeah,
I'd say there's a pretty decent chance that he was just probably trying to buy his
all right,
time. But
yeah. I what's it called? Me and my dad just like checked each other's tires since we obviously both didn't stop, and his right front was like 63 and mine was 50, so maybe I just ran the right front right off the car, but um, yeah, I don't know if you guys saw, but I mean, at some point he was like catching me more than I liked, so I started just treating it low key like a road course and just driving it basically at the wall into each turn, and then just driving hard from the wall down the straight, which is I think is why I caught the end of the interview where he said like I was getting him out of 4 by multiple tenths and then an extra tenth to put me over like the break even point, but I think it was just that line. Maybe it was saving me because I think he actually would have got me if I kept going on my line, probably because of the burning the right front off.
Brian just chimed in to say that his right front was at 65.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. No. I mean, yeah. I mean that just shows I ran the right front right off the car, and now that I know that, I'm glad I did switch my line to a line that makes no sense in real life. But
You got
Well,
any?
absolutely. Congratulations on a strong run coming from the back for a second place finish tonight.
yeah, thank you.
I don't know if you know, but Josh has given you a nickname.
Yeah. What's up?
He's got a knack from coming from the back.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, I guess it's just the way the racing plays out. I guess I just feel like whether I qualify first or don't qualify, if I do have the pace to be at the front by the especially with TDR with the long runs we have, I can usually like I guess I just think the qualifying doesn't really matter in that sense maybe.
Great agility for doing it, and congratulations on a strong finish.
Yep. Thank you guys.
All right. Well, that is going to conclude our broadcast for this evening, as we don't have anybody else that we can communicate with from the race. Everyone is gotten in their haulers and they've headed for home. So, Josh, I want to thank you again for being a part of the broadcast team. Definitely appreciate it.
Absolutely. It's a fun blast to be up here. It's a different perspective. And being a driver, I'm learning new things being on the broadcast side, but I'm also learning new things watching other strong drivers. So it's definitely a fun experience. And thanks for having me up here. And I do appreciate the the opportunity is the word I'm looking for. I appreciate the opportunity, and I appreciate you very much, Ethan.
Yeah, absolutely, man. We're glad to have you here. Thanks everybody that tuned in tonight, chimed in the chat. We definitely appreciate it. We're definitely glad that we got people that want to come out and watch, that are enjoying it, want to root on their friends and family, and it's a big reason why we do it. Do it for our fellow um, our fellow racers and for those that enjoy watching. So we will be back obviously next Sunday for our next gen Cup Series broadcast, and we know that that race will be at Daytona. So we got some super speedway racing next week. And as far as a remaining schedule here on ET Droneham Gaming this week, do a quick check here. It looks like uh, going to be doing some truck racing tomorrow at Richmond in the iRacing Warriors Motorsports League. And then Tuesday, we'll be back here at TDR to do some Tuesday night trucking. And that race is going to be at Chicagoland Speedway. And then we'll have the TDR Wednesday night Xfinity Series, and that's going to be at Darlington. So we got truck racing at Richmond, truck racing at Chicagoland, and we got some Xfinity Series at Darlington. So be sure to tune in the next 3 nights if you want to watch some more racing, and we hope to see you. I hope that everybody has a great rest of their night, and we will see you all tomorrow.
Have a great
Everyone,
night.
enjoy the evening. See ya.
Be, be safe. Be well.